Hi, this is Nasrin Eskandari, a registered migration agent from Australian portal Immigration. In this video, I will talk about employer-sponsored visas. You may have different visa options based on your nominated occupation, age, English level, and years of work experience. We will start with the visa subclass 186. This employer-sponsored visa is a permanent residency and the visa has no condition attached to it and there is no sponsorship obligation for the employer. The 186 visa has three different streams: direct entry stream, labor agreement stream, and temporary resident transition stream. You must be nominated by an Australian employer for this visa application. For the labor agreement stream, the employer must have a labor agreement with the government. For the direct entry, your occupation must be in the medium or long-term list. You must have at least competent English, which is IELTS 6 in each skill. You must have at least 3 years full-time related work experience in your nominated occupation. You must have a positive skill assessment and be under 45 years of age when you apply. The temporary resident transition stream is for the 457 and 482 visa holders. If you have worked for your employer for at least 3 years in the past 4 years on a 482 or 457 visa, you can apply through the transitional stream. Your occupation should be in the medium and long-term list. This requirement is removed for applicants until July 2024 who worked for their employers during the COVID pandemic. You must be under 45 years of age when you apply, and you must have at least competent English. You don't need the skill assessment result to apply for the transition stream. If you do not have the required work experience, English level, skill assessment, or are over 45 years old, Subclass 482 visa may be a better option for you. The Subclass 482 has three different streams: short-term stream, medium-term stream, and labor agreement stream. For the labor agreement stream, same as the 186 visa, the employer must have a labor agreement with the government. To apply for a 482 visa, you need to have at least 2 years full-time post-qualification work experience in your nominated occupation. This visa does not require positive skill assessment result except some trade occupations from certain countries. The short-term stream is for the applicants who have an occupation in the short list. They can stay up to 2 years every time that they are granted this visa. This stream usually does not have a permanent pathway, but visa holders may apply for the Subclass 186 transitional stream until July 2024 if they have been in Australia during the pandemic and worked for their employer for at least 3 years in the past 4 years. The overall band score of at least 5 with a score of at least 4.5 in each of the test components in the IELTS is required for the applicants. For the medium-term stream, your occupation should be in the medium and long-term strategic skill list or in the regional occupation list. For the English, you need IELTS overall 5 with a score of at least 5 in each of the test components. This visa can be granted up to 4 years and it has a permanent pathway if you're under 45. And the last employer-sponsored visa that we are talking about is the Subclass 494. This is a provisional visa for 5 years with permanent pathway after 3 years of working and living in a regional area. Your employer should be operating a business in a regional area. Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are not considered regional areas for this visa. Work experience, age, skill assessment, and English requirement are exactly the same as a Subclass 186 visa, but the occupation list is different. Your occupation can be in medium and long-term list, or the short list, or the regional occupation list. If you do not meet any of these employer-sponsored visa requirements, you may still be eligible for a training visa subclass 407 or a COVID visa subclass 408 if you have an employer in Australia. I briefly explained employer-sponsored visas. If you want to learn more about these visa options, I have an excellent news for you. We will have free live webinars which are scheduled weekly via Zoom and our Facebook and Instagram page. You're welcome to participate and ask your questions. I will be there to answer all your questions and visa queries. Please make sure you're subscribed through the link below to avoid missing the dates. Talk soon.